Hello, this is Brock Lotus from Myth Inc. from the server Eridar, and I will be commentating on our Omnitron Sentry Defense kill in Blackwing Descent. There's 4 of those sentries. They randomly spawn, so what you get is what you get when you first enter the instance. And I'll be going through the abilities and how we proceed to kill this fight. As you can see here, we have Toxitron as our first sentry, and we're pulling. Toxitron has, each sentry has two different abilities. I'll be going through that as each one goes. Toxitron here, he's nature damage. He spawns a cloud. Whatever's in that cloud takes 50% more damage. Your tank can move the Toxitron into the cloud, himself out, do more damage to him. He also spawns 3 poison bombs and 10 mans. If you are melee, make sure you run away when he starts spawning these bombs. You do not want them to target you right off the bat, have them explode, and then you'll die. And as you can see, our hunter here, Hanasaku, does put down a slowing trap, which is uber good. And after those slams are dead, you proceed to the boss. Now, when he reaches 50 energy, you want to switch. Make sure you stop replying dots, because you have that shield, and you do not want to break that shield. And we are now on Electron. Electron puts a random lightning conductor on someone, have that person run out of the raid. Simple basic mechanic. He also does random, chain lightnings. It's something your healer's just going to have to deal with. But as you can see, at the same time, Toxitron still puts out those poison bombs. You want to make sure you kill those poison bombs as fast as possible. Deadly Boss Bomb announces who is they're fixated on, so those people can start running away. I have one fixated on me, so I have to make sure I run away from that as well. And then as you can see, Electron is at 52% energy. Switch off of him, go to the next one. Your tanks will pick it up. We're on Arcanatron. Now Arcanatron, what he does is he will start randomly shooting an Arcane Annihilator at someone. He also drops down this little blue sparkly void zone there. If you're standing in it, more damage, more mana regen, so have your healers and everybody go nuts. Other than that, you just always want to DPS Arcanatron, and you want to interrupt that Annihilator as every time it comes up. Because if one goes off, it starts casting faster and faster and faster. Thank God we have Ampere, who's our elemental shaman, and shamans are the best at this because their interrupts are only on a 5-second cooldown. He interrupts this every single time. There's no damage coming out. Your healers can effectively heal, and it's good. Magmatron is pretty much the easiest of the sentries. He has his AoE, which as a rogue you can feint the damage. Healers just heal up the raid. And the second ability he has is he acquires a target, which if he acquires a target, make sure you move out of the way, nobody's in line of sight of that beam, and you're good to go. So Magmatron, definitely the easiest to do. And as you can see, our elemental shaman Ampere, he stays on Arcanotron, and his main job is just sit there, do nothing, and interrupt that Arcane Annihilator that targets random people in the raid, because that thing really hurts. And when he starts getting if you miss an interrupt and it gets going and it gets quicker and quicker and quicker, it really results in a wipe. And then we're back on Toxitron again. Again, the key to this fight is you want to stop DPSing when the energy bar goes to 50. Technically, you can stop when it goes to 45, but you want to be safe. And there's always 2 sentries up at a time, so you always have to make sure which ones your raid has to be aware of. We have Toxitron and Magmatron, so the 2 things you have to be aware of: slimes and Magmatron when he targets somebody for the beams. So, and it'll switch because these are random, so you always have to be very careful which 2 are up at the same time. Deadly Boss Mods does help. And you also want to remind your warlocks or anybody who uses dots heavily that they should really stop reapplying dots at around 50-55 energy, because you do not want to break that shield. I have Lightning Conductor on me from Electron. I cloaked it. Other people usually just have to move away. Again, we have Toxitron and Electron up right now, so the 2 things you have to watch out for: Lightning Conductor and the slimes. And it changes. Whatever 2's up, there's always usually 2 things you have to watch out for. We also specify to our tanks, when the shield is up, just stop attacking. It's the safest way to go, because if the for example, on I believe it's Toxitron, if you attack, every time you attack, if your tank attacks that shield, he gets a nature dot put on him, and it stacks. So the safe way for your tanks, every time the shield's up, just stand there, take the hits, stop attacking. We're on Omnitron again. Again, Ampere is doing a wonderful, wonderful job of interrupting that Arcane Annihilator. And our healers and casters, and I think our hunter as well, are standing in that swirly blue zone right there, getting the damage bonus. It's a good time to pop Heroism as well if you're on that blue. Pop Heroism whenever that blue appears, and you're golden. If you are running into mana problems, I would recommend your healers get into that blue zone. The only danger of having that blue zone right there is if you have Arcanatron and Electron at the same time. If Electron casts that Lightning Conductor and on a healer and he's in that blue zone, he'll start damaging the whole raid. You just have to make sure that person who has a Lightning Conductor gets out as quick as possible. Other than that, if you break down the fight very easily and you get used to the mechanics of it, I mean, it's very good. Your tanks can easily call out whenever Toxitron Slime starts coming out. That helps a lot. And just have everyone just do their job. Spread out. Make sure you always stop and warn people to stop DPSing whenever that shield hits 50, 55 energy, and move on to the next target. And if you have one dedicated interrupter on Arcanatron from that Arcane Annihilator, this fight becomes very, very easy. Yes, Ampere's damage, as you can see in the lower left side of the screen, is very low, but having him interrupt every single time on Arcanatron makes this fight significantly easier. I cannot overstate that. Element Shamans are just the best at that. Just don't DPS the shield, he just stands there and he waits for the Arcane Annihilator. Again, slimes are up. We have a great hunter putting down those traps. Always, Hanazaka always does his job perfectly without me even asking. And always make sure you want to kill the slimes. And as you can see, it's, you know, threats usually never a problem. Your tanks always alternate picking up one after another, and you always want to make sure that you never hit that mob whenever that shield is up. Tanks included. Nobody should be DPSing that shield at all. It just causes too much heartache. And you can see we wiped a little bit here, but this was a little sloppy kill. But generally, once you get the flow of it, it's fine. One dedicated interrupter on Arcanatron. DPS those poison bombs as whenever you can. Have your healers, if you're running with mana issues, have your healers stand in the blue void zones. And yeah, that's good. And as you can see here, all our DPS decided, you know, we don't want to kill these poison bombs. So that was just me trying to kill these poison bombs by myself. But, you know, and definitely you do not want to stand as a green cloud like I am. Because if you are, and for example, if Magmatron starts doing his AoE, you're pretty much screwed. So, but you do want to keep the boss, these sentries, you know, as much as possible in the green cloud, just not yourself. So this is Omnitron Defense System. Hope my tips and tricks have helped. Good luck in future raiding.